So I got a great question from a friend Julie, and I think it's such a great question. And she was asking, how can I support someone going through a fast? And I'll get right to it. And first of all, what I want to mention is that for you, Julie, and for anyone else considering this, that shows you, I just invite you to give yourself some credit and realize what a beautiful thing you're doing, because wanting to be there for someone going through a fast, which can be challenging, that's such a beautiful thing. That says a lot about you and who you are and what that person means to you. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. When I received that question, it just felt so nice. As someone who does a lot of fasting, it just felt so nice to know that someone wants to be there for someone else's fasting. So first of all, I just wanted to mention that, and that's such a beautiful thing. So I wrote many points that I want to get to. So the first one that I want to emphasize is to listen to them and be there for them, because they'll get ungrounded. And for anyone that hasn't heard that term, there's many interpretations of what that means based on the person's point of view. But one thing that you can think of is that there's going to be a lot in their mind, and there's going to be a lot going on. And even if you watch, I think it was my last 3-day fast that I recorded my journey. In the videos, I was very ungrounded. Like my mind was all over the place. Sometimes we say things that don't even make much sense. Like, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of detoxing going on. There's a lot of healing, and sometimes the mind can, be all over the place. It's different for everyone. Sometimes it's actually the opposite. You feel amazing. You feel very calm, relaxed, and grounded, and in your body. And sometimes you're just up here. And so what I would just recommend is just to be there for them and listen to them. And it's not the time to be like challenging their point of view on something, or arguing, or because mentally it can be tiring mentally too, even though it can improve focus and everything else, and productivity and all those things. But for some of us, sometimes it's challenging. So I would just recommend to listen to them, and it's not a time to be for any kind of confrontation. I'm not saying you do that, but I'm just saying this is not specifically for you, Julie, of course, but it's like for anyone that let's say that they raise a point that you don't agree with, or it might even trigger you or something, right? You might want to, if you can, wait until after the fast to bring that up again and just talk about it. I feel like it might not be the best time. Number 2 is to please don't talk about food, and if you can, please don't eat in front of them. Or if they just want to go away while you're eating, please don't take that personally. It's tough. Sometimes on some of my fasts, my whole family was eating on a Sunday on a barbecue, and I was just fasting, and I was great. Some fasts, I just have to go somewhere else. If family is eating, if friends are eating, if someone's eating something around me, I just have to go somewhere else, because I don't want to have that extra challenge. There's already enough challenges sometimes in our fasts. So I would highly invite you to not talk about food and not eat in front of them. Number 3 is not pushing them to do physical things, or not forcing them to do physical things. Like, you can invite them to go out for a walk. If they don't want to, don't push it on them. Like, don't, because they might feel bad, and they might go out of their way to please you and to be kind to you and nice to you and agree to your plans, but they might not be ready for that. They might not want to do that. Or even, I don't know, if you need help moving heavy things around the house, like, please find someone else. Like, there's fasts where you can do a lot of physical things. There's fasts where you really need to take it slow. It just depends on the person, their journey, their current circumstances. So I can't know that. You can ask them. Do you want to go for a walk? Do you want to go for a swim? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Or just see what they want to do. Just see what they tell you what they want to do. So yeah, please don't push them. Number 4, I think it is. I never number these things. 4 is remember they might get emotional very easily and very quickly. Like I said, there's so much going on. Sometimes we're a little irritated because of the detox going on, because we didn't get good sleep, we're tired, sometimes we're irritated. There's so much going on. I mean, I could talk for an hour about even just this specific point, but there's a lot of emotional wounds coming up sometimes when we are not stuffing everything down with food, or we're not distracting ourselves with food all day or other things, right? So a lot of things come up, emotions, that things maybe you were aware of, things you might not be aware of, things that you might not even know what it is. You might feel frustrated, you don't even know why. You might feel angry, you might feel disappointed, you might feel crazy weird emotions and you have no idea why. So just remember that kind of goes back to the first point of just listening to them and just being there for them. It might not be the time to challenge their point of view, like I said, to challenge what they're saying. So just remember that that's definitely a common one, that we tend to get emotional kind of easy. Sometimes, it's not always, of course. Then what else did I have? This is a huge one. It's tough if you've never done fasting, but you can definitely have an idea. It's the invitation that I offer to you of putting yourself in their shoes. Like I said, not eating for a while, let me just see what I wrote down, brings up emotions and things to the surface. So I wrote, don't challenge them emotionally, they're already being challenged. It's not the best time to have tough conversations about things that might have happened. And I also wrote, like, not overstimulating the person. Like, maybe if you always love to listen to loud music in the house and they're around, maybe not having loud music if that's not what they can handle right now. So not overstimulating them in any sense. And that's up to you to figure out what overstimulation might be for that person. But I think putting yourself in their shoes is huge. I think I like to look at things very holistically, so I always talk about the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual aspect of things, right? So when it comes to the physical ways, let's say, of how you can support them, I think it's everything that I mentioned, right? And many other things that I mentioned about the physical, like not pushing them physically, not eating in front of them, all those things, that will also help in terms of the mental, emotional aspect, because seeing the food is not just challenging because you might get hungry physically, but mentally and emotionally will make it a lot harder. So they're all so connected. So it's just figuring out, obviously you know the person better than I do, so I can't know specific tips about that person, but I hope that something that I share just might have sparked a little insight within you and be like, oh wow, she might benefit from this, or he might need me to do this or not do that. So I just invite you to consider that, to put yourself in their shoes and see, okay, what would I need in that situation? Because you don't need, if you have never fasted, that's okay. You can just realize, okay, when I'm moody, when I'm depressed, when I'm angry, frustrated, what do I need? When I'm whatever comes up for you. When I feel like I need a lot of support, what would I like in that situation, right? Do you need more time and space? That was another one that I was thinking of, like, they might need a lot of time and space, so don't take it personally. Please don't take it personally. They might need a lot of time and space on their own. Says nothing about you. Says nothing about you. Like, people that I love in my life, sometimes if I'm fasting, I'm like, I'm sorry, but this is my time. I need my time and space. So that's a huge one. Just recognizing that and kind of communicating well, like asking them. Sometimes you might have assumptions of what they need and what you think they want, and that might be way off. So you might just ask them. When it's honest, authentic, and it's coming from a good place, it's never gonna make them angry. Like if you say, I'm really sorry, I have no idea what you're going through, I don't know how to help you. What could I do for you? Do you want me to stay? Do you want me to leave? Do you want to listen to music? Do you want silence? Do you want to talk about anything? Do you need to vent about anything? Do you need to bring something up? Do you need to go somewhere? Do you want to stay here? Do you need me to drive you anywhere? Do you need me to get you anything? What do you need from me? What would you like me to help you with? If you're very open, very honest, very willing to be there for them, that's such a nice thing to do. Like that's, as someone who does fasting, like that would be incredible. That would be such a beautiful thing to have there while we're fasting. So I really hope that helps. I really hope that helps. If anyone watching this can think of anything else, because there's obviously so many other things that we could talk about, but if you can think of anything else, and if you could put it down in the comments, that would be such a huge help for everyone else who will watch this video in the future. So if you can offer any tips, please put them down below. And thank you for even considering this. Thank you, Julie, for the question. That shows what a beautiful person you are. And I truly hope this helps. Have a beautiful day.